Warning, the following podcast has extremely high levels of Kenny Bolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to Kenny Bolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This warning sponsored by the Story Time with Dutch Mantel.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here. I don't know how ready I am, but I am here. It has been a busy day. And of course, close to showtime, I find out that I don't have any help. And of course, all three dogs needed to go out. My yard keeper did not clean the yard today, so that fell upon me. And hadn't been done in a couple of days, as a matter of fact. So I had to get out there, get the yard clean, and waiting for the temperatures to drop. So it was all the way down to 93 when I went out to do the yard today. And sometimes you wish you didn't have any dogs. But hey, they're my babies, so you do what you got to do. Hello to the Tea Maker, who was the first one in here tonight. How you doing, Tea Maker? Kevin Marr in here, and Billy Sellers. And just to let you all know up front, we got annihilated on donations. The last show we did, I think 3 people out of however many were watching, 3 actual people donated. And so we'll run by the same rules we went by the other night. We'll hang around here for 30 minutes and do the best we can. We're trying to, as a matter of fact, Jeanette wrote me just before the show. Jeanette is the one that had Scooby. Scooby had been pretty sick. And how you doing, Trey Pepper? And Scooby is pretty sick and had been, and we got him a round of medication and recovery food, and he's doing much better. Saw the pictures of him. He looks like he's doing a little better. The veterinarians had recommended that he has some type of a fan to help him keep cool, because the heat there has been unbelievable as well. Plus, I'm sure it would be a big help to the family as well. So that fan would run roughly about $30, and he needs 5 more cans of recovery dog food, and they are about, trying to remember the pesos, I think they're about $3 a can, and it's called recovery food. So those are the main things for Jeanette that we're looking at. She said she could use a fan. Recovery food will be at the top of the list. A fan would be nice, so that would help the family and the dog, because they only have 1 fan for the whole house. And I think there's like 6 or 7 people that live in that house. What else we got? I was still trying to make up the differences because just so y'all know, I've spent personally about $350 of my own money over the last 2 weeks trying to make sure everybody's fed, everybody's got their electric and water taken care of. Jen was a chunk of that because she was in a bad situation where her bills had fallen about 3 months behind. She was trying to take care of everything herself without asking for any help, and she should have asked for help because shit got in a bad way, and basically her money was paying for her rent and food, and they didn't have enough to pay for water and electricity and feminine hygiene needs. The Iceman's in the house. Mylene is in here today, probably working in Manila somewhere. Trey Pepper says he's doing good, and Stephen Fowler's in the house. So anybody, and like I said, guys, it doesn't take, and Bob has been helping me out too, trying to keep people above water, especially our sweet little Jelly Bean. So many nicknames going through my head. Jelly Bean. We've gotten Ruby May's house paid off. We do need to help get Art Gel some rice. She sent me a video and she needed some school supplies and a school uniform for them getting ready to start their next semester. I already made sure they got the rice. We couldn't have the little ones going hungry. And she said they hadn't had rice in 3 days. I said, please, God, do not wait 3 days to ask for help again. If you need help, ask. We will find a way to get you the money. Whatever else you guys want to talk about, I'll be here by myself tonight. And whatever it is y'all want to talk about is fine with me. Vince Russo is apparently having a ball over at his channel. People bitching at him because he claimed he was in the top 80% of the talent. In other words, 80% of them were worse than he was. And I told him, I said, well, you should have been humble and said 72%, and you might not be getting as much heat. But I haven't heard back from him. I've chimed in a couple of times. I haven't heard back from him. He's invited to come over on this show and tell us how great he is. Well, we're happy to have him on. And so what do y'all think? Those of you that are familiar with Vince Russo's career, do you think he was in the top 20% of the talent over there? Was he better than 80% of the WCW roster? He apparently got more than his fair share of the heat. Now, whether that was just because he's Vince Russo and Jim Cornette hated him, a fair amount of heat comes with that. Oh, and I did also hear, heck no, she says. Nicole says, heck no. And hey, I just want your honest opinions. Vince is a friend of mine, a dear friend, but I want your honest opinions. If you don't think he was that good, feel free to say so. If you think it was great, tell us that. I told him, take a poll. This is one of those times you need to take a poll. And but he gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate letters. I did watch the entire 3-hour Tom Brady roast today. Holy shit. I forgot how off the chart. What's over here? What is it? Oh, it's I'm totally AT&T now. I know the trolls are gonna hate to well, never mind. But I'm totally AT&T now. We doubled our internet speed for $10, so that was very nice. Hopefully the signal's out good tonight. And TC from the NC says he totally agrees with Nicole. I think top 20% might be a bold statement, but then again, I felt that way about my performances at Ohio Valley Wrestling. I thought that I was certainly as good as anybody there, especially when it comes to promos. I seemed to have most of the heat. I was named the face of the company. I don't know that Vince Russo was ever, well, you got to spell Vince right before he really sucks. I don't know that Vince was ever labeled as face of the company with either company he was with. He was a writer primarily with WWE. I can't remember how much on-air stuff he did with WWE, to be honest with you, but I do remember a lot of his WCW stuff. Him and Eric Bischoff had their differences over the years. I'm shocked that I am honestly shocked that just for the controversy and as well known as he is, that somebody has not bothered to put Vince Russo into the WWE Hall of Fame, because unlike Cornette, I don't think Vince has ever said anything racist. Not that I can recall. I don't think he's ever sexually assaulted anybody, unlike a lot of people in WWE, or been associated with covering up sexual assaults, unlike a lot of people in WWE, even though I think I was told that Vince was there during some of that, like Jim Ross and some others. But Jim Ross hasn't taken any heat for being there and covering anything up. So I don't know. Let's see. I thought it went downhill after WWE. WCW dead and TNA went, well, yeah. So you think so? I have not seen the special, and I probably will not. For those of you that have seen the special, who did they officially say killed WCW? Because I don't know. I think the Bischoff, Russo, and who was the third person being blamed? I think 3 people were being blamed for it. And so you guys tell me, because I haven't seen it, and I probably won't. I'm shocked that they didn't try to get Cornette's opinion. I did see that Vince Russo is booking paid appearances. That might be why he won't do my show now. He's booking paid appearances to do other people's podcasts. I guess he hasn't made enough money. I guess he didn't make enough money while he was in WCW. And I posted, and this might have irked him too. I posted, well, I will appear on your podcast for $1 less than what Vince is asking. I was trying to make it funny, but he might not have saw it that way. And I also posted that I do not charge to appear on anybody's podcast, whether your podcast is way better known than mine or way less known than mine, as long as you have a basic fucking idea as to who I am. and are somewhat respectful. I mean, you can ask tough questions, but be somewhat respectful. And I'll do your show. And the only thing I ever ask anybody to do is make a reasonable donation to my charity. You don't have to pay me anything. And I give them the address, foodforfilipinos@gmail.com. And if they need to donate another way, well, I guess I need to reduce my screen so everybody knows how to do that. And like I said, I will not have any help tonight. I'm sure Coltrane is still recovering from whatever he's going through. Plus, he went to Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska for a while. And I don't even know that he's back home yet. And Bob has work-related stuff going on tonight. And let's see. So I'm going to keep Facebook. We're going to lose a shitload of it here soon. I'm going to keep Facebook. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter, and if you have something to say, you do have to be a member for me to post it and to comment on it. But if you'd like to acknowledge to us that you're here, feel free to do so, because we're going to be strict with this tonight. At 9:30, Facebook and Twitter goes away. There's Vanessa. Vanessa got in at the buzzer. Vanessa is needing help as well. Vanessa has got a motorcycle shop there to agree. They said the tires are so bad that they can't even ride it right now. A neighbor let them have their motorcycle back. They kind of sold it back to them on a payment plan. They have to pay a minimum of 1,000 pesos per month, which is $20. But the motorcycle needs a new tire, I think an oil change, and the brake pad's done. And I think the total price for everything was going to be, Vanessa, quote me on the price. But you like me better? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Quote me on the price, because Facebook's only going to be open about 7 or 8 more minutes. But Vanessa needs help getting her tires and brakes and getting the motorcycle ready to be able to work, so they can get her father back and forth to the multiple doctor visits he has to do during the course of a month. And that was what was very nice of the neighbor to set them up on a payment plan. So we're going to try to make sure she's got enough money to make the motorcycle payment each month, a minimum of 1,000 pesos a month. They said as long as the motorcycle is paid off in 12 months, that she'll be fine. So that was nice of them to do that. And the motorcycle shop says that if we can come up with $40 of the $100 it's going to take to replace the tires, brake pads, and oil change on the motorcycle, they said if we could come up with a $40 down payment, they would get the ball rolling and let us make payments over the next a couple of weeks to pay off the balance of fixing her motorcycle. And that will be a big help to her. We're still, and we need to help Eunice move. They're in the house. They've made the repairs to the roof and everything. We got the house paid for, because the other half of the house will be paid for when the house they were kind of ran out of gets annihilated, demolition, whatever they're doing. So they've agreed to wait for that 10,000 pesos. So we've already paid the other, and we paid the 7,000 pesos to repair the roof. I don't know if the labor has been paid yet, but the materials for the roof has been paid for. Might owe a little bit of labor money. Need to check into that. Billy Sellers says WCW for life. Yeah, there's a lot of people thought it went downhill after that. So, like I said, I'm by myself tonight. If you've made a donation or would like to help us out, and guys, the $5 and $10 ones go a long, long way in helping. You don't have to be one of the people that does $20, $40, or $50 donations. Even the $5 and $10 donations are a huge help. So let's see if we have any help in here yet tonight. God damn. Wasn't looking for that. Well, that helps. That's a big help. And fortunately, I still have a few of these left. We only have one. Well, hang on. I'm looking. We have 2 donations. We have Naughty Nicole. Naughty Nicole has donated $15. And the other donation, this is, to my knowledge, this is the biggest donation that TC from the NC has ever made. And he has just bought, not mine, this one's mine. This one's autographed to me. If y'all can see that. Well, it is. Take my word for it. Oh, there it is. That one's autographed to me. Got the little sticky note in there and everything. Well, I guess I could move the sticky note. Put it over there. I got the only one that got personalized. So there we go. And but all right, see if I can fold it up right. That one's my book. But TC from the NC Hang on here. Get one that'll show up on camera. TC from the NC has just ordered him an autographed Anthony Scaramucci book. The tea maker in here has one. John Paul has one. I don't think Billy Sellers particularly cared to have a Anthony Scaramucci book, but TC from the NC has ordered him an Anthony Scaramucci book, and if it's not any problem, TC from the NC, it's $60 for the book and $5 to ship it. So I'm probably going to ship it out, in all honesty, one day next week. So if we can get $5 to cover the shipping, that would be fantastic. We have another donation here on PayPal. It looks like Paul RJ down in Australia has donated $10, so that's more like 900. And then we have TC who donated on Venmo. He donated his 60 there. No rush on the $5, TC. Just like I said, I will give you notice and a tracking number when I ship your Anthony Scaramucci book, and just no rush on that. Just whenever. And Nicole donated Pasta Tart, whatever y'all know her as, has donated $15, and she's donated quite a bit over the past few weeks, so we appreciate that. Okay, good. Thank you, person that did that for me. I appreciate that. Well, you paid the $5 already. Okay, well, thank you, TC. We appreciate that. And here we go. Okay, well, good. This might be a little cheaper than I was thinking. Hello, King. The total price is well, good. That's not $100. That is closer to 70, especially after we factor in transportation money to get them there. I don't think she factored that part in. So not quite 100. So that's good. So total price. That's why I asked you to tell me in here, so we didn't lie to the people too much. Well, you did say that RV's family could probably, or did we get the rice yet? I've been doing so much on my own the past few weeks, trying to take care of a little bit here and there, and I added up everything that I'd sent out of my own money, and it added up to like $350. And I'll be honest with you, I can't afford to do that, but I also can't let these people go without food. My brother, my racist ass Trump supporting brother, was trying to give me shit. Man, and I think he's one of the trolls. I think because he said all the things the trolls did, and in capital letters. Man, if you're so rich, why don't you just take care of them Filipinos all by yourself? Well, I never claimed to be rich. I claim to have a fair amount of AMC shares that have not made me rich yet. Maybe at one point they did me a lot better, but and what else was it? And I pointed out, well, I donated $350 of my own money over the past 2 or 3 weeks. What have you done to help anybody? America, Carroll County, Louisville, Philippines, God forbid any country with dark-skinned people. That ain't gonna happen. So and then he what was it? He says you're on your show begging, and in capital letters, begging for money. We don't beg anybody. We ask you to support the show. And as I pointed out here not too long ago, and I'm about to have to say goodbye to Facebook and Twitter here in just a minute, but being as I'm in the middle of a story, we don't beg anybody. We ask you to support the show. You know why we do the shows, and it's to help raise money for these families to give them just a little bit better life. Just a little bit better life. Oh, I wouldn't doubt he's one of them, because I made him real mad showing him a bunch of shit that called him out to be full of shit with information he was trying to pass on to me from Fox News. So I just said, every meme you can show me. He showed me a 2-headed person with Barack Obama and Joe Biden's head. Well, there we go. That's probably true. And so I said, every meme you can show me, I can show you 10 facts that will blow your fucking meme out. So I just flooded his shit. And that's when he lost his mind. That's when my racist, homophobic, government-sucking brother, who has a gambling addiction, decided he wanted to go one-on-one with the great one. Well, it didn't go so good. And plus it takes him all day to type, because apparently his English ain't good and his speech to text doesn't translate well, brother. So And and I sent him the receipts of just what we've sent out of World Remit alone over the past few weeks, and it's a goodly sum of money, as they say. And I think I sent some of others, some of my bigger donors in here, the Jazzy Janis. I hate to do it to T Maker because I can only send them one receipt at a time, and I don't want to flood up his entire cell phone number with just a shitload of receipts. He knows where the money goes, or he wouldn't be donating. But Pasta Tart gets them. John Paul gets them. Paul RJ knows where the fucking money's going after all these years. So I think he was trying to insinuate that we don't really help those people. And the trolling he was trying to do on my cell phone looked very similar to what I see in here. Very similar. Either that or he's learned from them. Because the stupid will learn from the stupid in a heartbeat. We've seen that happen over the years. It would not shock me one bit. It would not shock me one bit. So let me try to stay on top of donations as they come in. Yeah, TC sent that $5, so we appreciate that. Anybody else? I do have a few of the Anthony Scaramucci books left because he did send me another round of those. We got 3 or 4 people said they wanted them. They haven't paid for them yet. Well, I can assure you, until they're paid for, we're not shipping them. So, Deegan Copeland was watching the show the other night, and he got blocked by Bob, and we thought that's what he wanted. We thought he wanted to be blocked, but apparently not. Not everyone can become a doctor. Well, not everyone can become. Not everyone that can become a doctor that's as poor as you. You got that right. Good God. So yeah, 1,900 pesos down. So we need roughly about $40 down to take care of Vanessa's situation, and about another about $50 to take care of Jeanette's situation, and then anything extra we will put towards Ruby May's family situation and Eunice's situation, because we do really need to raise about $100 to get them moved. Get their television, their stereo, all the things that I have bought them and that this show has bought them, mainly me in her case, over the last 4 years. I've known her since she was 14 years old. She's been the representative of the family. She will be turning 18 on Dutch Mantel's birthday. Ruby May will turn 15 on Dutch Mantel's birthday. And Chenny will turn 20 on Dutch Mantel's birthday. So maybe he's jealous that you don't give him. Well, he's got a gambling problem, and I wouldn't give him money if he asked for it because he loves to live at the casino. I do technically get a donation out of my racist, homophobic, Trump-supporting brother because that's I let him have one of the YouTube TV accounts. And as everybody knows, any extra money that's left over from the YouTube TV payments goes to help our families. And it comes in at a good time of the month. They have to make their YouTube TV payments on the 18th of the month. And fortunately, 3 of those came in the other day. And so that's how we get a donation out of him, is that his YouTube TV payment goes to help feed my Filipino families, many of them with skin darker than his. And that's the way I make him support. And anytime he doesn't want to support my Filipino families, will cancel his YouTube subscription and we will give it to someone that would like to have it, and they can help my Filipino families. But in the meantime, if you want to pay full price for your YouTube TV payment, I suggest that you keep donating the way you have been, brother. Man, you might have more money than me. I don't know. I don't know how much money you got. I know you'd have a lot more if you'd stay out of the fucking casino. I do know that. So there's your little time on the show, because apparently you watched them all. Brother. You want to try and troll me some more? Because you do realize that your YouTube TV payment, who my son has saved for you many times, by the way, can go to somebody else in a matter of like an hour. And you do realize that I can end it in 30 seconds. So if you like your cheesy little YouTube situation that you got, I advise you behave yourself. I'm not going to ask you to be decent. I'm not going to ask you not to be racist. I'm not going to ask you not to be a Trump supporter, because nobody ever talked anybody out of joining David Koresh. No one ever talked anybody out of joining Charles Manson. and no one ever talked anybody out of joining Jim Jones. They all had one thing in common. They drank the Kool-Aid, and they wanted to wear tennis shoes when they committed suicide because, well, the government was against them. So there you go. Billy, I thought you was already a member, but looks like you're a member again. Yes, so you already bought the rights. That's right. Okay, I was trying to keep on track of what all we've done, and the ambulance fees they had to work up because they wouldn't let grandma go home until the ambulance fees were paid, so they had to borrow 850 pesos, about nearly $18. They had to borrow nearly $18 before they would release grandma from the hospital. Filipino rules are weird as shit. Let's see. Well, Dirty Dutch gets a plug on every show. So for those of you, and John Paul donates on most every show, not every show, but when he can. He always had jealousy because you there's a lot of people jealous of me over that. Because I add up what they waste, including my brother. I add up what they waste, and they wouldn't need to be in financial straits if they just bought what they need. Not so much well, Kenny's got that big new TV. That TV cost me $23. Insurance paid for the rest of it. That is a 77-inch OLED by LG. You can look them up. They're expensive as shit, but insurance paid for it because of a power surge or something that hit it that fucked up my other one. And they came and said, well, it cost too much to repair. Here's your check. And fortunately, I had it insured. Be wise, be insured. And so that television cost me $23. Had it cost me what it would have cost to buy that, minus the insurance check, I wouldn't have it. But it had to go towards the purchase of the television. It was made. I could have it made out either the Costco, Walmart, or Amazon. So I had it made out to Costco and paid $23 and got my television. So there we go. Dr. Bill Irwin, we always try to shame him into a donation. It, as a rule, does not work. So Facebook, our numbers are about to go way down. So Facebook and Twitter, I have to say goodbye to you because nobody over there donates anyway. So, so all of the Filipinos that were watching on Facebook, feel free to come over and watch us on YouTube. You're always welcome to do so. So we're going to say goodbye to Twitter first because they definitely do not do anything. Well, fuck. How do I do? Oh, do I have to edit it? Is that what I got to do? No, I don't want to do it that way. I might be stuck with these motherfuckers because I can't see how to end it. Facebook. You were live at. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I see how to do it. I hadn't done this in a long time because normally my people do this for me. So no, we don't need to delete it. We won't need to do that. So Twitter, you don't donate. I said good day. Okay, so that takes care of Twitter. Now let's go to Facebook. Facebook, I think there's one of you over there that actually donates, maybe two. They ain't done it tonight. So let's go to Facebook. Click the little check mark. And Facebook, if you'd like to continue watching the show and participating, maybe even donate, maybe even get a membership, maybe help us with our families with a little $5 or $10 donation, come on over to YouTube, be a decent human being, and help somebody other than yourself. If not, stay gone. I don't give two shits. I did say good day. Now we're down to YouTube. How many? We got rid of about 20 of you. So there we go. And let me check here. Well, all that talk didn't do any good, did it? All right. So we still don't have any other donations. One of them, most of the money came from the purchase of the Anthony Scaramucci book for $60, $15 from Nicole. Let me make sure I got everybody's donations up to date. Well, $65 technically because he paid $5 for his shipping. And then we got $10 from Paul RJ in Australia. Oh, Lord. Not much I can do about that. Well, Bill, you're just going to €2 us to death, aren't you? Times are tough over there, Doc. Not a lot of patience. Oh, Jesus. Well, we appreciate it. Whatever y'all can do, we appreciate it. Let's see here. So it's 9:41. We've been here how long? 33 minutes. And other than Tyler buying a book, we have made $30. $25, excuse me. $10 from Paul RJ, 15 from Nicole. And Nicole says she wants to help with the puppy's food for little Scooby. All right, you got her. We're gonna make sure the doggies get their food, no doubt about that. Don't know if we can buy the fan at this rate, but we will get the add up the pennies. You're pushing it, Dr. Bell. You're pushing it. Give me a drink here. So it's 9:42. I will hang here like an idiot for another 30 minutes and see how we do on donations and if we can help these people out. Like I said, I'm not asking you to empty your bank accounts. This is where Kenny begs for money. This is as close as begging I'll do. I'm just asking you to help these people like I do, like Bob does, like the Coal Train does, like Nicole does, Billy Sellers when he gets his check during the month. No, don't worry about it. Nicole, you do way more than most. Don't you dare apologize. And you already sent us money earlier this week, last week, and you made a donation tonight. You have nothing to be sorry about. I'm just asking those that do have an extra $5 or $10, which I would like to think would be every one of you. And we said goodbye to 25 or 30 people that were watching on Facebook and Twitter, and they are terrified to be seen, and that's why they do not come over here. I don't know. I got into a bit of a tiff with someone from Los Angeles who was here that was was a foreigner a long time ago. She came here from Singapore. I think she came here in 2015. And all she ever wants to talk to me about is investing and finances. And we video chatted a few times because a lot of times these finance people aren't real. And we video chatted a few times. Very beautiful young lady from Singapore. And but it seems to always be, what's my self-worth? Not so much me, but her. What they're invested in, the things she wants to possess. And maybe, you know, but I've been dirt poor too. I know she was dirt poor in Singapore. There you go. That's a book. And I just tried to explain to her, I was like, we're two different people. You know, you're wanting to accumulate all these possessions. And I'm 64 and I don't particularly give a shit to have really anything else. I've got a 2004 Volvo. I could have a brand new one if I wanted one, but I don't want to spend that fucking much money in a car that I'm hardly going to fucking be in. It don't make any goddamn sense to me. You know, I just don't drive enough to. If I was still traveling on the road, making real good money with OVW and selling merchandise in every town, even then I didn't have a new car. I listened to a guy named Dave Ramsey, who I understand now is a big diehard Trump supporter. Wish I'd have known that back then, but there was no Trump running for president then. But back then he said anybody that spent more than $5,000 on a car was an idiot, and that was back in the 90s. And I listened to that, and well, that makes sense. You know, fuck. You know, I've had some people tell me, well, God, it takes 30, 40,000 miles to even break a car in. So the car I've got now has got 72,000 miles on it. I spent $4,000 repairing everything on the goddamn thing. Just took it to the shop and said, hey, if it needs fixed, fucking fix it. And that's what they did. And so when they got done with it, I said, oh, there we go. Now I've got a brand new Volvo. Everything's been repaired, 72,000 miles on it, which in this day and age is not very many miles. And they sell for a goodly sum of money, even with that amount of miles on it. And especially when everything's been replaced. So in my head, I have a brand new Volvo. Looks pretty good. People like it when they see it. No, it's not as fancy and as modern as the cars with the great big grills and all that shit. But I thought it was a good investment. It's a car that if I check out of this world anytime soon, I could easily hand down to my son. He could sell it for a good amount of money, and not $72,000, but you know, I think we could easily get out of whatever we've got in it, and we have a good, reliable car now. Brand new tires, brand new brakes, alternators. I mean, you name it, it's been replaced. I said, if it needs replaced, replace the damn thing. And that's pretty much. I was hesitant to do that because I didn't know, but between me and my son together, yeah, there's a fair amount of driving, but not me personally. Shit, sometimes I'll park the car out front and won't move it for fucking 3 weeks. I have my food delivered. I enjoy being home. I enjoy watching television. Oh, the Tom Brady roast. I watched it on Cody today, and it's on Netflix. So for those of you that have Netflix, if you want to see old school, racist ass humor, homosexual humor, dirty fucking humor, the way it used to be, Andrew Dice Clay type of humor, and you know how those Comedy Central roasts could be. Well, this fucking thing ain't bleeped. It ain't blundered. It is, man. Kevin Hart's opening was brutal. You would think most of these people fucking hate Tom Brady. And then Tom did a good job in his wrap up. It's a 3-hour roast. I remember the ones on Comedy Central that were normally about 90 minutes. It's a 3 fucking hour roast. Y'all are welcome to comment after Nicole did at 5 minutes ago. Y'all are welcome to say something. And like I said, if y'all anything out here y'all want to talk about wrestling related, I did see the ending of Raw. I guess it was Raw. Yeah, it was Raw. I did see the ending of Raw. There's one adjustment I would make to that thing that I saw, and if y'all saw it and want to talk about it, that's fine. If not, watch it when you get a chance. But it was kind of cool. But there's one adjustment I would make. That was my idea with the original. What were they called? Oh shit, the original. Bray Wyatt and whatever his group was called. Fuck, I already forgot. What about Bobby Heenan? Oh, that is out on Instagram. Not Instagram, but that is out on what am I on? Boy, I'm having, and I took my memory medicine yesterday too, and today. The Wyatt family, yeah, the kind of they've redone the Wyatt family. There's one little adjustment in there, not a major adjustment, because I wanted a girl in it when Bray Wyatt had it, because we kept seeing a girl in a tree in the videos and everything. But the girl was never on the show, and there was a lot of rumors it was going to be the cute little blonde that had the little evil gimmick for a while. I never can think of her name either because I don't see her that much. But I wanted a little evil girl, preferably a brunette. I wanted a brunette. Don't know why. Just that's what I wanted. And they never did really have one. So now they do have a girl in it, but it's not the direction I would have gone. And I'm sure masks are going to be taken off eventually. It's going to be hard to work in those things. But check it out. It's worth seeing. I thought it was reasonably well done. A lot of production. I mean, money was spent. Alexa Bliss. Is she hurt or something? I don't see much of her anymore. Why do we not see much of Alexa Bliss? But yeah, so the Wyatt family thing is worth checking out. And then once you all have seen it and want to talk about it, I will tell you what little adjustment I would have made. And it's just a personal picadillo, a personal preference, whatever. And let's see here. Well, if we got a donation, it's one. And we have Kevin Marr has donated $10. And see, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And if everybody watching the show right now donated $10, we take care of everybody. Everybody that needs help tonight, we could easily take care of if everybody donated $10. And then I'm not doing, I don't know if I'm doing a show Saturday night or not. I have not made up my mind. Definitely be back here Tuesday and definitely be back here Thursday. And if I'm around Saturday night, but I do have some plans for Saturday during the, oh, by the way, I renegotiated the Popeyes deal today. Our good friend Markel is no longer there. There's personal reasons behind that, but I spoke to the person above Markel today, and he's very happy with us. He's very happy with the results he gets from this show, and we had a lengthy conversation today. We spoke before lunch. More than happy to stay a part of the show. We're going to keep our deal, and I told him that we really appreciated doing business with him. I'm disappointed that Markel is no longer there, and there's personal reasons as for why that happened. I think he's going to be moving on. Maybe to another restaurant. He's looking at a couple of places that I really like as well. And who knows, maybe we'll have them with us as well. I would assume we would. Shout out to Main Event. They have agreed to bring Sakia and her children over to have games and dinner with them in the near future. Bear knows we're going to do that with them as well. And Two Rivers, if she ever wants to go out to Carrollton, we will take them out and treat them to a very nice dinner at Two Rivers. When you got 5 kids, you take every fucking break you can get. And she was a very nice guest on the show. She is from Cambodia. We nicknamed her the Cambodian Queen of Bling. And not only does she have a kid, she has a kid, Alexa. Well, there's a lot of girls that work in the WWE that have kids. Now, maybe did she have one recently? Maybe that's why we didn't see much of her. I don't know. I didn't even know she's pregnant. Slipped by me. So shout out to all of our sponsors there. We were debating on going to see McDonald's this weekend, but I think Popeyes won out. We haven't been to Popeyes in a couple 3 weeks. And I think me and one of my wrestling friends and my son are going to be hitting Popeyes either Friday or Saturday. And I'm rooting for my friend Markel to end up at one of the 2 places he's negotiating with, because I like both of them. But we'll see how that goes. Man, the Italian beef at Fish House is great. I'm going to throw that up here and screenshot that so he sees it. I want him to see that comment. Man, the Italian beef from Fish House. I agree, and I'm going to make sure this is at the 44-minute mark. I'm going to make sure to screenshot this. We'll point to here we go. This is screen. And I'm going to make sure that my friend from the Fish House sees that comment, and I will screenshot that to him, if not after the show, first thing tomorrow. Because this show might be wrapping up pretty soon because, well, wait a minute. Wait, we might have something. Daniel Lemley's donated 15. So we might have stretched this thing into a full hour. Let me see. We had the purchase of the book, and TC from the, I was not looking for that, man. That was we appreciate that. That's a big help. Big help. My Charlie account's been set up. I set up a bank account with Charlie because they do great things for people that are on Social Security if you're 62 years and over. And they just let me know that all my stuff at Charlie's been confirmed. But you have to be 62 or over to bank with them. And I think you have to also be on Social Security. I think that's kind of the rules. So we have 15 that just came in from Daniel Lemley. Thank you very much, Daniel. TC from the NC got the book, so he sent a total of 65. Nicole Lemley said 15. So other than the book, there's 30. And then 10 from Paul RJ, so that's 40. So other than the book, we have $40 in the house. And nope, it's not an error. There we go. I had to link that account to a couple of places, and it's been successfully done. So that's good. All righty. Let me check PayPal, make sure that other donations come in that I did not get an email notification on. If you have donated, let me know here. And like I said, we're trying to raise the separate things we're trying to work on to raise $100 to get Eunice's family moved into their home, because to rent a truck and to rent a couple of people to do it, they do have a fair amount of furniture in the house that's going to be demolished. So we need to get that done. And so let me check Venmo real quick. Make sure we're up to date on that. Well, shit, this battery is way lower than I thought. Guess I better plug that fucker up. The iPhone battery is a tad low. There we go. All righty. So there's the Venmo donation. All right. Let's see. So it's 9:55. So we'll be here at least 10 more minutes. That will be a full hour. 13 minutes. Yeah, we'll be here at least 13 more minutes. That'll be a full hour, because I did start a little bit late. And what else y'all want to talk about? And big shout out to TC from the NC, because I was not looking for that. I had no idea he had any interest in the Anthony Scaramucci book. A couple other things that we're selling. Apparently nobody can afford the artwork of John Cena that was done by Tony Atlas. So what we're doing now is, for a $90 donation, we are selling the John Cena children's book, John Cena's Elbow Grease, that you see back there, along with one of my 4 remaining autographed pictures of John Cena. I don't need them all. And I'm sure I could get another one if I needed one. And So the book will come with an 8x10, 8.5 by 11, whatever it is, autographed picture of John Cena with that book. That'd be a great gift for somebody if you want to put it up and save it for Christmas, a birthday gift, something like that. The John Cena children's book, big ass old book too. That's just some letters I've got. As where I identify my building and all that shit, and I just guess I could take them out. Not that fucking necessary for it to be there. So that is the John Cena book. It will come with a autographed 8x10 John Cena picture, and or 8.5 by 11. Don't hold me to the 1/4 inch. And so anybody that would like to have that, that would be a nice gift. It looks like John Cena's picture is yeah. There's kind of the opening of well shit. I'm by myself, folks. By myself. I'm sure it's a children's book, so yeah, there's lots of pictures and everything in there. And there we go. And I've got a few of the Anthony Scaramucci books left. The title, From Wall Street to the White House and Back, Anthony Scaramucci. And that is on Amazon for $30. And I have the autograph version for $60, $5 to ship it. It is a hardcover. And we're talking about putting my book out in hardcover. I don't know if anybody would give a shit. I mean, if you want to have a hardcover version, let me know and we'll think about it. And Bob and I have been talking about doing an audio version of my book forever, and we haven't done it yet. And you would have to let me know if you want an audio version of my book. That would be a hoot, because it'd be me rambling about what's in the book more or less. And anybody that buys my book, if buys the Scaramucci book, if you don't have my book yet and you would like it included, for an additional $15, you can get the Anthony Scaramucci book and get my book for half price. I normally sell mine for $30, shipped to your door. So if you want the Anthony Scaramucci book and my book autographed as well, hey guys, I can't live forever. Might be something nice to have. What if I wake up dead tomorrow? You might wish you had my signed book, so y'all could throw darts at it or something. But if you would like a copy of my book and the Scaramucci book, so for $75, you can get both. There we go. Let's do it that way. And got a few of those left. I'll be taking some of those out to Two Rivers. I've got requests out there to sign some books out there. And so there we go. I'll just set my book right up over here by Mr. Mooch. We'll do that. Move that over there. I propped up Mooch's book better than I did my own. Let's do that. There we go. So there you go. And we got 3 books over here. Bob Hazelwood, I got the King's book, great read, autographed many times. I don't doubt that, but yeah, I think you got Mal Bolin's autograph on your copy too. I think you got one of the Mal Bolin autograph versions. If you want a Bolin Alley t-shirt, you can get those in our t-shirt shop. I'm sure there's a link floating around somewhere. I think it's on the Facebook page. And let's see here. How many minutes we got left? We got 9 minutes left, unless we get a couple of decent donations to keep us on the air. And, well, I don't know where this comes from. I'm going to read the name, and if you're the one that made this donation, let me know. And this is good enough to buy us a few more minutes. Sydney Martin has donated $20. Now, who in here represents Sydney Martin? Because there's no details with it, no instructions. It does not say this is Jack in the Box money, so we're going to assume this is to maybe help buy the to help with the move for Eunice to get their furniture moved to their new home. And but we've officially bought and paid for 2 houses recently. We got Ruby May and Hart DeLosa's house paid for. We got electric ran to their home, which got hooked up a couple of days ago. They are so thrilled. Oh, Maya autographed the book too. I think she did. I think Maya did autograph that one. Yeah, so we bought 2 houses recently, and giving people a place to live that's now rent free. Yeah, they're probably going to need our help with rice and electric and water from time to time, but at least the rent's covered, because we've been paying 2,000 pesos a month rent for Ruby May's family for quite some time. Well, now they own the house and don't have to do that no more. And plus it helped the owners out because they were needing money for medical shit. Same thing with Eunice's family. So it was one of those kill two birds with one stone type of thing. Jelly Bean, I'm doing my show right now. Jelly Bean asked me how I was doing. She might not know we're on the show. Janine says hello, that we've helped recently. Dad, if we get the TV and the stereo. That's reasonable. We can work on that. Eunice says that the family's really looking forward to getting their television and their karaoke stereo and their things to cook with. And so we're getting that worked out for her family. Jelly Bean says she will watch the show, so we might be seeing her pop in here in a little bit. And yeah, 1,900 pesos down. Okay. So we're working on those things, guys. And I want to thank Sydney. And there's Jelly Bean. So, oh, good. So I got my screenshot there for Kevin Marr. Fish House will love that. And hey, if anybody else in here has had food at the Fish House, man, it would help me with them to keep them aboard as a sponsor too. They love to see responses. So if T-Maker, if you're watching the show and would like to give us a review, a positive review, and I don't want anybody to lie about it. I mean, if you've been to the Fish House here in Louisville, they got 3 locations. If you've been to the Fish House, post in here what you thought about it. My phone is acting stupid. I'll get a badge of it. Well, that's fine. I mean, we know you got one. We know you got one. Kevin Marr saying hello to Jelly Bean. There's Jelly Bean in the house. We love the Jelly Bean. She's got glasses similar to mine. I'm just not wearing those tonight. They're over on the ottoman, but I'm just pulling through. These are my new computer readers. I might be able to drop. These are 1.5s. I might be able to drop down to 1.0s, and it might even be a little clearer. We'll worry about that the next time I'm by the eyeglass store. But yeah, if you've been to the Fish House and would like to post a review in here, we will screenshot it and we will send it to Malik, the owner of the Fish House, and let him see your comments. I'll blow it up full size and send it to him. And but I don't want anybody lying. If you haven't been there, don't lie about it. Popeyes, if you've been to Popeyes, would like to put up what you think of Popeyes. We prefer positive reviews. If you had a negative experience, let me know and I will relay it. A negative review at the Bardstown Road Popeyes. I mean, we can't do anything about internationally bad incidents at Popeyes, but we got that. Let's see here. Yeah, so we'll go an extra 10 or 15 minutes thanks to Sydney Martin. I do not see Sydney's making any comments in here, but we certainly appreciate the donation. I do not have anything in my inbox telling me who that is, but I've seen that donation come through before. Billy Sellers, I love Popeyes and McDonald's. Okay, well, that's good enough. That's good enough. You forgot the E on eyes, but we'll forgive you for that. They'll know what you meant. They'll know what you meant. So there we go. That was at the 56-minute mark, give or take. Type that again, Billy, but spell Popeyes right. They probably love it when their name of their company is spelled correctly. That would be my guess. So any other things y'all want to talk about? Anything about Monday Night Raw? Anything about what's going on with Donald Trump these days? Anything about what's going on in sports in general? The Dallas Mavericks getting beat in 5. A lot of people thought Boston was going to sweep them. I wasn't one of those. I thought that it might go 7. Well, yeah, like I said, just spell Popeyes correctly and McDonald's. Yeah, you misspelled McDonald's too. So they're spelled right there in front of you. So correct their spelling and then post that again because I don't want them to think I have an uneducated base. It makes me look bad. I'm messing with you. I misspell shit all the time. I think Gable, you think Gable will ever? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you why. Triple H absolutely loves Gable. Gable does a very good job. I like that Otis finally bowed up on him. That's been coming for fucking ever. I did watch that segment. I'm a big Otis fan. Otis is, we call him Broadway Otis. And I was watching NXT solely to see him, the goddess Maxine Dupree. Oh my God, what a beautiful. As y'all know, I don't normally rave about the white women a whole lot, but I'm told she's kind of white, you know, because I said, well, what is she? Is she Brazilian? You know, is there something else mixed in with that? Because she's just an amazing looking woman. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump going off. Who was he? Oh, he was raving about Taylor Swift. He couldn't believe that she was from Nashville, Tennessee, in Republican hell, which I used to live in. And he was raving about how beautiful Taylor Swift is and couldn't believe she wasn't a Trump supporter. She is about as anti-Trump as you get. She's as anti-everything he stands for as you get. Taylor Swift is not a racist. She's not a homophobe. She promotes gay pride. She promotes gay rights. She is as anti-Trump as you get. And he was apparently in this meeting with the Congress and the Senate raging, I should say, that Taylor Swift does not support him. He thinks he can win her over. Yeah, okay. Speaking of delusional, there's Sydney. There we go. So, let's see. I because of the colors, I have trouble reading that. Hello, Kenny sent another. Oh, did you send more on PayPal? Let me check that out because I got your 20. Well, that's very kind of you, man. We appreciate that, especially the foreign dollars rolling in. No, he sure did. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we where it's needed. Sorry, just subbed, unable to post in chat. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, man. We appreciate that. He just got a subscription. Well, Sydney, we really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. And yeah, because of you is why we extended the show some extra time because we're right at 1 hour right now. And because of you, and now you've done $1.99 in here. So technically you donated $32 tonight. And thank you very much. Billy Sellers says it's the first of the month. He's going to make another nice donation for us. We appreciate that. Thank you, Billy Sellers. TikTok says I left something behind in my cart. Well, not really. That means I haven't bought it. So Jellybean watching the show. Mylene watching the show. Thank you, Mylene. And so, yeah, we certainly appreciate the help. Eunice, we're going to try to help you get the ball rolling on the moving company. The moving company said they will agree to work for a down payment. They wanted $100, but I think they said if we could come up with $40 down, they will wait for payment on them getting Eunice's family furniture, their dogs and everything moved into their new home. So we appreciate the movers working with us. They just wanted a decent down payment. And thank you, Sydney. Sydney, where are you? No, that's a dollar sign. I thought that was foreign money. Sydney, where are you from? What state are you from? And but then again, he might have to donate again to answer me. Well, if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you can write my inbox on either one of those. Or you can send me a message from PayPal. There's a place where you can actually send a message. I've done that with people before. Somebody I got rid of recently. I told them to shove their money up their ass and that we didn't want their money. And I had to send them a message through PayPal because I didn't have anywhere else to reach them. I caught them being a fucking liar, trying to badmouth one of my former associates of this show. And he was telling lies about him, but I claimed he was sending my former co-host money all the time, which he had never done. And but yet he was donating on his show. He was donating about $40-$50 a month. So I had to say goodbye to that because I do not like a fucking liar. So, but most everybody I've gotten rid of on this show, all the trolls, all were reasonably good sized donors. Well, there's some of them that were broke that didn't donate so much. And let's see here. God damn, I wish that wasn't in teal. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we don't get a lot of those either. We don't get a lot of the SoCals in here. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I will after the 4th of July on Saturday show. I'm going out of town to see family. Well, I don't know that I'm doing it. If the 4th of July is on a Saturday, I won't hold my breath. I'll be doing a show. I'm sure me and my son are going to be doing something somewhere, maybe even out in at Two Rivers. That might be a great trip out there, depending how fucking hot it's going to be. I don't know that we're going to be eating out on the gazebo when it's fucking 97 degrees. If I do a show on a Saturday night, it'll probably be a 10 or 10:30 show. Oh, July 4th is a Thursday. Well, we might be doing a Friday show that week. I don't, because I can't imagine very many of you. Well, I appreciate that, Billy. I can't imagine I would have a shitload of you in here watching on the 4th of July. And the big fireworks shows normally start at about 9:30, about 9:30. So I won't hold my breath on a 4th of July show, but maybe we'll do a 5th of July show on a Friday, maybe after SmackDown, maybe do a 10 o'clock show on Friday. And then maybe another show on Saturday. Well, we'll see. We'll get it all worked out. But I'm sure most of you want to be watching fireworks somewhere at 9:30 on the 4th of July, either on television or in person or what have you. So, but I will look to do something on the 5th of July, or because even if we do a Tuesday show and then come back and do either way, we're going to do back-to-back shows if we do a Friday, Saturday, or if we do a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come back on Saturday. But we'll get it figured out. On June the 27th, that's only a week away, so I guess it's next week. I have a young lady from the Philippines who is an actress, mainly does a lot of B and C level movies, and very talented dancer, very beautiful young lady. And I will save her name until I put out the promotion, but she is from the Philippines, has lived here for many years, is from New York. She does a lot of work in Los Angeles, and she contacted me yesterday, said she would like to do the show, talk about her experiences in the Philippines, talk about some of her movie projects that she's done, talk about her dancing ability. Very beautiful, very talented dancer. And I will be having her on the show. It looks like we're going to do a day show due to her movie schedule and everything. We're going to have her on at 2 o'clock on the 27th, whatever day that is. I'm assuming that is a Tuesday. I'm assuming. Yeah. Sounds like a Tuesday. So we will have her on, and then once I pin down the time, but it's 11 a.m. her time, 2 p.m. my time. She is currently in Los Angeles. And so be looking for a beautiful Filipino girl that now lives in Los Angeles. It's apparently back and forth between LA and New York. Me and her family have been friends for quite some time. Some of my cousins were actually in a couple of her movies. And like I said, they're B and C level movies for the most part. To my knowledge, she hasn't been in any big blockbusters, but if maybe she has, maybe she's done some appearances. And but we're going to be promoting her for next week's show. Star Maker, lame ass fireworks. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a hard pick, isn't it? It's a hard pick. And Ice Maker, when can we count on you for another donation? What you going to do for us? It's a simple answer. Just like Billy Sellers, 4th of July. I'm going to be making a nice donation. We appreciate it. I'll be hunkered down with my Dane while she tries to melt into, oh boy. My dogs have been hearing fireworks for so long because the big fireworks shows are about 1.8 miles away down at the riverfront near the Yum Center. And they just bounce off these buildings around here. And it sounds like they're having the fireworks show out my door. And it just bounces off this building. I've done shows for Thunder over Louisville to where when the finale hits, you can hear it on the show if I don't have background noise killed on the microphones. And my dogs don't really, if they're outside, it gets their attention. But in here, they don't really pay too much fucking attention to it. But Scooby cracked me up the other day. I was laying in bed having trouble sleeping. I normally sleep to thunderstorm noise. And I said, Alexa, continue. It fucking heard that. That device is a long way away. And it fucking heard that. And I said, continue. And it did not play the thunderstorms. It played the theme song to this show by Up From the South by the Budos Band. And so all the dogs are in the bed with me. And I just had the box fan on to sleep by, and I needed my thunderstorm noise. So that song comes on, and Scooby pops up out of that bed and runs in here to the computer desk. He thinks it's showtime. The Budos Band was playing. Only in the bedroom, it's hooked up to 7 speakers, 1,000-watt Dolby Digital system, powered subwoofers, I mean, it's a hell of a sound system in the bedroom. An old Pioneer system. I say old, 5 years old. I mean, it's back when people bought real stereos and not sound bars. And speakers, I got Bose 4.1s or 401, yeah, Bose 401s, and some other high tech speakers, a couple of powered subwoofers. And hell, my Bose 401s are my surround sound speaker. I mean, most people use those for their front channel. And it's a hell of a fucking sound system. But he heard that music hit and he popped up and he's looking around, it's pitch black. And he's just looking around like, where's the show? Where's the show? So he just runs in here to the computer desk and props his paws up on the desk like, showtime, man, we got to do a show. And so he knows the theme song means showtime. And that cracked me up. I almost got up and did one for him. Like, hey, Scooby wants to do a show. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, but here we are. We're doing a show. Now my dogs love to sit out on the porch during thunderstorms. They know where they're probably not going to get rained on at. If they're at the very edge of the porch, they're probably going to get wet during a real good storm. But the lightning and thunder doesn't seem to bother them much unless they're out there in the yard and the heavy rain hits. They're not very, very enthusiastic over the lightning and thunder. But on the porch, Tucow's the biggest storm dog of all. He loves to lay out there on the porch during storms. Scooby likes to do it. Choco, not so much, but if we're all out there, she's got to be a part of it. But if she has her choice, she wants to stay in here because she's sugar and she thinks she will melt. So 10:17, we have been here 1 hour and 9 minutes. We'll be here another 5 minutes or so. And because you have to ask questions for me to even have a reason to be here. Because I've rambled on about enough. Nobody really wanted to talk about the Wyatts, apparently. Apparently no sports on anybody's mind. My Cincinnati Reds lost a tough one in Pittsburgh. They lost a couple of tough games there. Got beat 1-0 yesterday. They are off today. And, yeah, TikTok wanting me to buy something else. What did I leave in there they're wanting me to buy? I don't even remember putting that in my cart, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, big thank you to Sydney for donating $34 tonight. I think that other than Mr. Cox buying my book, that is the biggest donation of the night. No, there's no big game there tonight. Oh my God, I cracked Paul RJ up the other day because he sent me a screenshot of a concert. What was it, George Strait? You sent me the shot of Iceman. You never even answered my question. You try to get more out of your $3 donation than monthly donation than anybody. Make some type of a fucking donation, and unless you're on a ventilator somewhere. I'll answer your question, but make some type of a fucking donation. You used to. Are you out of work? You got a membership. That $3 only gets you so fucking far around here. I've blocked people that abuse their $3 privilege. You do know that. Yeah, George Strait. We'll talk about that in a second here as we wrap up the show. Do I think they will be jobbers? The crowd has kind of been wanting them more than me because I think the Wyatts belong to Bray. Not so much who's the other guy. I forgot what they even call him. So I realize what they're trying to do. Will they be jobbers? Probably as individuals, there will be several of them to be jobbers. They better have one of them that gets that does what Bray was able to do. But it's time to yeah. I mean, we need to give them time to see, because I don't know who any of them are other than Bray's brother. And I done forgot what he looked like. I have no idea who the girl is. But my opinion, I would have gone with a very attractive but yet scary, evil looking girl rather than giving somebody a pig face. You know, I've always thought the gorgeous, creepy girl, like in various movies, there's just something about that, to where she's sexy yet creepy. I don't know about giving the girl the pig face, or that's what I saw. Yeah, make her evil, make her scary as shit. a little on the creepy side. But I would have went a little bit different. I would not have, because you already got the hideous, mask on all the other people. I think the girl should represent a different side of evil and a different presentation. The girl is Nikki Cross. Okay. Well, okay. I'll just keep my comment to myself. It's not like they were doing a shitload else with her anyway, I guess. So that is not who I would have picked. Fuck, I would have made Alexa Bliss a brunette and let her do it. Because normally Deep, Dark, and Evil doesn't go through the trouble to do their nails and bleach their hair blonde. Assuming that that's what Alexa Bliss does. I have no idea. She might be natural. I have no idea. We have been here 1 hour, 14 minutes. I will check for last minute donations because I think we's about done. And then we will be back here Thursday night. Yeah, this is Thursday. We might be here Saturday. I don't know for sure. If I do Saturday, it will be somewhere between 9:30 and 10, depending on what all we get done. So I might be here Saturday. And I do need to get the ball rolling on getting Eunice's furniture moved, dog food for Jeanette's family. And what else we got? Well, I'm sure I'll know as soon as I look at my phone. I will be reminded who all needs what. Now, how did you know the girl was Nikki Cross, or did I just say pig face and you guessed? I didn't have to say that. I didn't even have to say that. Oh, I will give you one more tidbit before I go. One of the guys on Twitter sent me a link. Let me clear my eyes before I do this. I got a link to Rene Dupree. As you all know, I quit doing his show several months ago. Seems like it's been several months. It's been quite a while. But as you all know, I quit doing Rene Dupree's show. Not because I dislike or hate Rene Dupree. Far from it. But because every time I did Renee's show, the trolls had a season ticket to come over there and just say the most outlandish fucking lies, that all of them were invited to come here and present a driver's license and say on camera to where we could legally do something about it. Because not fucking one of them did. No troll ever has. But Renee, show after show after show, gave them a season pass to come over there and do that shit. One of his trolls is one of his trolls that goes by the name of Rex, something like that. And he was actually the troll that asked the question because Gene Snitsky and Ben Hameen were over there doing a show together. And this troll named Rex, one of Renee's trolls, not one of mine, asked, and this is how he phrased it, and this is exactly why I won't be doing the show. Hey, what do y'all think of the lunch lady Kenny Bolin? Labeled me the lunch lady. They want to call me a lesbian and all this shit. So I guess because I lost weight, I've become a lesbian. Whatever. That shows how shallow those motherfuckers are. That's where they go to, and then they won't even put their real name behind it because they realize they probably wouldn't have jobs if they have any. Most of these people probably do not have a job. So he lets a troll post it on the screen like I've done with Billy Sellers there. And our sweet jelly bean, who has glasses like mine. Oh, it's been written up on the... I thought maybe you looked at her and knew it was Nikki Cross. And I never read wrestling websites. You all have to tell me, or I don't know anything about it, because I don't even read wrestling websites. And I would have never known Renee even had these people on his show, had one of the guys on Twitter, and he was apologizing for telling me. I said, well, I don't mind. I mean, you told me. I said, So how that conversation went is that they were talking about how I always ate free in Louisville, and Gene Snitsky said he learned from me. They used to call him Gene Scheme because he would always get something free, and he was kind of telling the stories as he learned that from me because I didn't pay for anything in Louisville, and Gene says he still to this day, if he goes into a place, he tells them who he is, what he was, and I'd like that hat or I'd like that shirt or whatever. And he says he still to this day gets a lot of shit for free and apparently gives me credit for it. And Ben Hameen was saying, yeah, I was eating with Kenny at Golden Corral one night, and he said, motherfucker walked out with 6 pounds of steak, 3 pounds of bacon, and just all this free shit, man, just because he is who he is. He didn't pay for it. They just hand it to him. And that was before I was promoting restaurants and places on podcasts and shit like that. And both of them said, no, I love Kenny Bolin, man. I ain't got a negative word to say about Kenny. Kenny's always good to me. Ben Hameen said the same thing. And that I referred them to the Vince Russo show, him and Stevie Richards. And politically, me and Ben Hameen don't line up. Me and Gene Snitsky don't line up. But they're friends, as I said about Nick Searcy from Justified. Politically, we don't line up. I'd like to think we're friends. Me and Vince Russo politically do not line up at all. None of the conspiracy theories. We don't line up on any of that shit. Like to think we're friends. He doesn't reach out as much to me as he used to. And I think it's because everybody over on his show hates my fucking guts because I stand for what the bullshit that they, I stand up against the bullshit they promote. And who else did I include in that? Vince Russo, Nick Searcy, and one other person. Wasn't Ben Hameen, it was somebody else. That politically I don't line up with, but I'd like to think that we're all friends. And I said, these people are welcome on my podcast anytime, and they're welcome in my home. Even though politically we disagree, all these people are welcome in my home. And I can't remember who the third person was. It was Russo, Nick Searcy. Might have been Ben Hameen. I don't think it was Ben Hameen, though, because me and Ben have always been good friends, regardless of political views. And maybe Eric Bischoff. I can't remember. And but even though we don't line up politically, they're friends. They're welcome on my podcast. They're welcome in my home. And so Rene Dupree on his show, after seeing that Snitsky said that he loved me, Ben Hameen says he loves me. And he says, yeah, he says, I've been thinking of reaching out to Bolin and making amends. Well, he must just be thinking about it because he's got my email. I'm pretty easy to find. Yes, I did block him on Facebook because I reached out to him after the show when I told him I wasn't going to be doing his show anymore because you will not block the trolls. And then you laugh about the fucking lies they post. And stupid people think that shit's true. And people that aren't so fucking stupid. Poor John Paul in here got sucked into these fucking trolls there for a while and thought they might be telling the truth. Hell, we lost John Paul 2 or 3 times. But he says he'll never fall for their shit again, that he's seen the truth. Rene Dupree knows the fucking truth. But it's entertaining for him to watch the trolls call me names, make horrible fucking accusations that they know is not true. Because if it was true, they would come over here, put their face to their name, and they'd make the accusation. They won't, because that's defamation of character if you actually put your name behind it and you make accusations that are not true. And but none of them will ever do that. None of them. Not a fucking one of them. But number one, I don't think they have anything to take anyway. I'd have to take it from their parents. So he said he would reach out to me and make amends. And here's why it won't work. He posted the screenshot, like I do it here. He posted a troll calling me a lunch lady. I don't consider that a positive reference to refer to me as Kenny the lunch lady. I shouldn't even be repeating it, but I did, because I wanted y'all to know why I probably won't do his show, because he thrives on that type of an audience, and I won't be a part of it. Now, if Renee wants to come over here, he's welcome. I protect my guest. I protect my co-host. We block. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what you donate. You get one warning. If you insult my co-host, you can insult me all you want, and I'll put up with what I put up with, and then you're gone. But if you insult my co-host, and if you insult my guest, that's not what they're here for. They're not here to hear your shit. You can ask good, honest questions, but you don't hide behind a keyboard and act like you're a fucking tough guy. I'm on here. Everybody knows where I fucking live. I got something to say. I say it. Everybody knows where my fucking porch is. You got a fucking problem with me? Come deal with me. It never happens. But that's the difference between being a keyboard warrior and if I got something to say, I fucking say it. And I stand by what I say. I'm not hard to find on social media, where I live, or what I do. I'm pretty fucking easy to find. But if I'm going to have you on my show, I'm going to protect you. I'm not going to let any of you all, regardless who you are, insult my guest. And I put up with that shit over there show after show after show. And then one of the co-hosts is a fucking anti-vaxxer Trump supporter. That's hard enough to fucking put up with because that to me is not healthy. If you're an anti-vaxxer and you're promoting, I mean, if that's the choice you want to make for yourself, I don't give a fuck. We just recently had a couple of people die from COVID again because they were fucking anti-vaxxers. No, they made it through round one. You know, we got through the first time. And then they got hit with this new variant of COVID and fucking died. 2 family members, Trump supporters. So he wants to take credit for Operation Fast Speed or whatever the fuck he called it. But he wouldn't get vaccinated himself. And now they're still shitting on vaccinations again. And Ron DeSantis will not fund any schools that enforce vaccinations. What the fuck is the matter with these people? I know, Paul, you said you were having a rough time. Paul said this is the first time he's gotten it. That means it's still out there and it can still bite you in the ass. And especially, I think Paul's been smart enough to get vaccinated. But if you're not vaccinated, and if you're allergic to a bunch of the shit that's in the COVID vaccine, I mean, the doctors will tell you what's in it. Yeah, I guess you have a reason not to do it. But until any of you stupid fucks are smarter than the scientists and the doctors, it's like me and Glenn Gilbert. Oh, it was Glenn Gilberti was the other one. Me and Glenn do not line up on a lot of shit. I consider him a friend. Welcome in my home. Anytime he's in Louisville, he's always welcome to come by. Welcome on my podcast anytime, as you all have seen. He's been on recently. Politically, we don't line up. And he was shitting all over climate change. 82% of the country was having record high temperatures. 100 cities, and we're not even to summertime yet in this country. That's tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It's tomorrow. 100 cities are having outrageously high temperatures. Maine, some city in Maine the other day had a high temperature of 103, an all-time high record. All time. The last 10 consecutive years are the hottest temperatures ever recorded in this country. I don't have to be too fucking smart to listen to doctors and scientists. Do they always get it right? No, it's a trial and error. It's just like COVID. You had to fucking try and error a few things, but we did realize Lysol didn't do jack shit to help COVID like Trump thought. That bright light didn't do shit to help COVID like Trump thought. That Clorox didn't have shit to do with COVID like Trump thought. And hydroxychloroquine didn't have shit to do. Chloroquine, I should say. Didn't have jack shit to do with helping anybody with COVID like Trump thought. He was 0 for fucking 4. So I'll listen to Dr. Fauci or any other fucking medical doctor who's got some experience in infectious disease. I will listen to those fucks. You know why? Because they're trained in it. I'm not trained in it. So I try to listen to people smarter than me. People that are trained in fixing computers. I'm not trained in fixing them, so I defer to people smarter than me. Fixing my car, I defer to people smarter than me. Interior design. Well, okay, I got that shit nailed. So, matter of fact, one of my new friends, the girl out in California, she's an interior designer. She's the one a little more concerned about wealth than I am. As long as I got enough to pay my bills, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to. If I wanted to own my own home, I would have had one a long time ago. Apparently, she doesn't own hers yet because she lives in California. It's hard to own one out there. That's a shame. People have to act stupid. Well, no, they're not acting stupid. They're being stupid. Because anytime, it's like all these congressmen and senators that want to act like they know more than scientists, people that study the Earth's weather patterns, and everything that they're saying over the past 10 or 20 years has been coming true. How much more do you need? The last 10 years, and this is according to NASA, the last heavily Republican-based NASA, the last 10 years have been the hottest years ever recorded on this planet. 10 consecutive years, getting hotter each year. But Glenn Gilberti, that brilliant motherfucker with his Georgia Tech basket weaving degree, I don't know what his degree's in, but it's certainly not science or medicine. That stupid fuck, and I've already basically said this to him, posted 81 degrees here in Las Vegas, very lovely weather. What's all this stuff about Climate change. There's no climate change. Very lovely weather. And I'm going, hey, stupid fuck, as politely as I could say it. It might be 81 in Las Vegas. Isn't that a little weird? Isn't it normally hot as fuck out there? Isn't Los Angeles getting a shitload more fucking rain than they normally get over the last 200 years? Isn't San Diego getting a shitload more rain than they normally got the last 200 years? And it's cool in Las Vegas, but look at the rest of the map. 82% of the country is miserably fucking hot, and it ain't even fucking summer yet. Record high temperatures are being set in 100 cities, including Maine, as far fucking north as you can get. It was 103 the same day that we were 96. We're way south of Maine, and it was 96, and it's fucking hot for this time of year. We're not normally in the mid to upper 90s this early in June. The first day of summer is June the 21st every fucking year. And it doesn't normally get this hot till we get into 4th of July, mid-July, all of August, and even about half of September can be pretty fucking ripe. And then about mid-September to October, shit cools back down again. Not as dramatically as it used to, but as scientists have stated, this country's getting hotter. It's going to parts of the country are getting drier. Other parts of the country are getting wetter, but so wet that it does not promote growth because it's flooding. Floods don't grow much of any fucking thing. Stupid fuck. Trump thought that because of the tropical storm, he was going to have more beachfront property. Actually, if the waters rise because of the icebergs melting up north, you're going to have less beachfront property. It's more water that covers up the fucking beach, you stupid fuck. But he's a goddamn idiot. How do I know this? Everybody that's ever known him has said so. Everybody that's ever known him well. And his college professor at the Wharton College of Finance, which said he was a fucking joke. That he was one of the dumbest motherfuckers they'd ever met. His father bought him his degree. We know people like that. Well, it is contagious. And it's funny you say that, Tyler. See, it is contagious because anytime you preach cult shit and then stupid people fall for it, and then they start preaching it to other stupid people, that's how cults get started. And Trump's cult is just as infectious as Charles Manson, as David Koresh, and as Jim Jones. He converted, and Trump converted more than they did. They converted stupid people to think all the lies and fabricated shit he says is true because he says it over and over again. I listen to smart people. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Many people say one of the smartest people, certainly in this country, maybe the world. And has the ability to break down shit that most of us can't understand to where we can understand it. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, once on the Bill Maher show, said, and I've repeated it on here many times. Repeating it again. Republicans cater to Bible thumpers because they're already programmed to believe the unbelievable. They've been hearing this shit about the Bible for 2,000 years or however long it's been. Not a shred of fucking proof about anything that's in the Bible other than coincidence. Well, this is happening in Israel, so the Bible's real. And there's 95 fucking different religions, and all of them are wrong except for the one that you believe. Okay. All right. That adds up. But one thing that's very similar about those cults, they will kill others and kill themselves for their cult leader. We had a dumb motherfucker set himself on fire in New York because Trump was being held accountable for his crimes. He set his fucking self on fire. Now, I thought Barack Obama was a good president. Clinton has been the most successful president, if you want to judge by budget. We had like a $12 trillion surplus, 8 to 12, whatever it was. It was a shitload. We had a huge multi-trillion-dollar surplus when Bill Clinton left office. George Bush ruined that. Donald Trump ruined it more than anybody with his outrageous tax cuts for the rich. Oh, trickle-down economics. That really worked for Ronald Reagan, didn't it? yeah, we give tax cuts to the rich and then all the poor people will benefit from it. Well, no, there's a thing called corporate greed as to why that doesn't happen. Dr. Pepper shouldn't cost $10 a 12 pack when 2 years ago you could get them for $5 for $10 all the time. It's called corporate greed. It's the same thing with the oil industry. We're pumping more oil in America than we ever had. But gas prices are Joe Biden's fault. We have the 9th lowest gas prices in the world. We are not among the 9 probably biggest oil producers, but we now in America are pumping more oil than we ever had. And most Democrats don't like that because they want us to go electric. Well, there's advantages to electric, and then there's disadvantages to it as well. If you listen to scientists, yeah, you can make the batteries, but then you have to dispose the batteries. And the disposal is the problem. Just like with all the trash and everything that we have to, it's got to go somewhere. And this planet was not designed to consume the amount of trash that it has to absorb. For those of you that do believe in your God, I don't think he factored in the plastic bottle and the ring holders that hold cans together. I don't think he factored that in. I don't think he thought his dolphins, porpoises, whales, and sharks were going to have to deal with that shit. So, trickle down only works when corporations do the right thing. Well, and that just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. That's why trickle down economics was the laughing stock of Ronald Reagan's policies, is because it was doomed on assignment. It was never going to work. The oil industry is making more money now than it's ever fucking made. But gas prices are still high. But that's Joe Biden's fault. That's Joe. Supply and demand, number one, controls gas prices. Supply and demand is as high right now as it's ever been because it's not COVID time. Gas prices were cheap during COVID because nobody was fucking driving. Nobody's fucking going anywhere. Gas prices should be, in my opinion, should be a little bit lower now because more people work from home. More people are not commuting back and forth to downtown businesses. So you would think supply and demand would be down at least some, but corporate greed has found the mark price, and that's what they're charging. That's why California gets by with charging light years more for gas than what the rest of the country does, because they make more money out there. It costs more to live out there, costs more to buy a home, costs more to rent a home, costs more to buy gas because it's the cost of living of that particular state. Certain states, it costs less. Why? Because in most cases, they make less money. Kentucky is an affordable place to live in. The minimum wage is still $7.50 an hour. When I worked at Kroger in 1979, by 1982, I had gone from $2.13 an hour. I'm sorry, $2.30 to $8.40 an hour. That was in 1982. The minimum wage is still $7.50. Now, nobody can pay that around here in Louisville. There's people paying for Popeyes, paying $15 to $20 an hour. Wendy's paying $15 to $20 an hour. Main Event, $14, $15, $16 an hour. Bear Nose, $14, $15 an hour. Minimum wage is $7.50. Nobody can fucking live on that. So why even have that? I mean, why can you not make a fucking living on minimum wage? Why should you have to have 3 fucking jobs to get rent? As a matter of fact, there's not one of our 50 states, not one. I just saw this yesterday. Not one of our 50 states is designed the word that if you have a minimum wage job with 2 people working in the family, if you both have a minimum wage job, you are not programmed to be able to make a living, to pay your rent, pay car insurance, pay a car payment, pay for childcare, buy groceries, pay your heat, pay your air, pay your water. And that doesn't include anything. Did you hear me name anything extra? No, nothing extra. If both of you have a minimum wage job, you are not allowed. You can't make it. And if there's only one of you, like me, well, fuck you. So this country has designed us, in most cases, not to be able to make it, because most of us can't get the big multi-$1,000 paying jobs that pay you $50,000 a year. I think in Kentucky, you have to make close to $30,000 a year to be considered even remotely successful. Most Kentuckians don't make that. I would bet it's most. So enough of that. I went way the fuck over. 1 hour, 37 minutes. I am out of here for now. I will maybe be back here Saturday night. I'm not sure. But Rene Dupree says he wants to reach out. He can reach out. He's welcome to come here. But until he starts blocking the trolls, I'm not going to go back there. Nothing personal against Renee. He run his show the way he wants. I run mine the way I want. So if he reaches out, he reaches out. But until he learns to block a troll, I will not be going back. So until maybe Saturday, if not Tuesday for sure, I'm the Star Maker, and I did say